plant does not like to grow around people. All right? So it's not a plant that you can bring into your garden and cultivate. It really likes to take its space. It likes to be out in the woods. Under this mossy rock right here is a spring, and that spring seeps. And you can see the wetness from the spring seeping, and it seeps down into this very wet area there. And this is the ideal location for a barren lauk, for wild leek in English, or ramps. All right, and the bumper sticker says, "Ramp eaters make stinkin' lovers." Why don't you try it out? Come on over and ask the leek if there's one or two that would be willing to give themselves up to you. And in doing that, you could take a tiny piece of the leaf. We're actually going to harvest some leeks. So if you take the whole leaf, that's not exactly what I want you to do. I want you to find the plant you're going to be harvesting and to take a small bit of that leaf to taste. Yeah? And then we will actually take that plant up and take it in the kitchen and add it to our nettle soup. But I want you just to begin by just having a little taste of it to further your communion. You've been out here really, you know, working with this wild leek, the ramp here. And so just a little taste so you can get a sense of, wow, does it taste oniony, garlicky? It's an interesting plant family, the Liliaceae family, because many of the plants in this family are poisonous. But we can be absolutely guaranteed that it's edible if it tastes like garlic or onions. Does this? Yes.
Garlic and onions.
Yeah, garlic and onions. It really tastes leaky. Okay. Find a buddy and breathe on him. You both need to have tasted it. It's unfair if one of you tasted it and the other hasn't. All right. Can you smell it on each other's breath? Mm-hmm. Yeah, ramp eaters make stinking lovers. It's true.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
Smell it over here.
Right?
Wow.
It is a strong, strong, strong smell. Imagine, if you would, that you are here 500 years ago. How would we harvest a leek if it was 500 years ago? How would we do this? We would have a digging stick. The digging stick is the great tool of woman. And it is probably the first tool ever created, was the digging stick. As time passes, the digging stick becomes the staff of power. And as more time passes, we tie a bundle of twigs on the bottom of our staff of power and pass it off as a broom. Me, I'm just a housewife. No power here. Wink, wink. So our digging stick, there are a lot of beliefs about the plants and how they don't like metal. Right, I said to one or two of you, oh, it's rude to touch the nettle with gloves on. Very rude to touch the nettle with gloves on. Similarly, it would be rude to harvest the wild leek with metal. So we don't come into the woods with metal shovels and dig them up. We look around for a digging stick. I think you should be able to find one. And test it out. You don't want it to break as soon as you put it in the ground. But there's a lot of sticks laying around here. You should be able to find it. And I have no problem if you need to break your digging stick. That's absolutely acceptable. All right. All right. And then we don't want to dig needlessly, please, Judy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. And you have your plants that you're working with? The one that said, yes, I'm willing to be part of your lunch? So really go to that one leek that you're working with. And before you do anything at all, again, really open your heart to this plant. And really get a sense of what is happening here. This plant is giving itself for your nourishment. We basically have nothing as good to offer in return. Now, we are white people, most of us here today. And we live in a culture in which everything you have ever consumed has been paid for. Am I right? If you were to walk into a supermarket, pick up a banana and eat it, that feels wrong to you, doesn't it? Because you're supposed to pay for the banana. So this is why I do not recommend that white people make a gift or an offering to the plant before they harvest it. Because that's going to click into, I paid for it. Instead, what I ask you to do is a far harder thing for most white people, which is to really understand that the gift this plant is giving you, there is no way you could possibly ever pay for it. And to find that place of humble acceptance in yourself, that some other life will give itself to you for your nourishment. And when you really feel that, then you can dig it up.